Hello, dear student. Uh, this lecture, you are going to see the H-type polarographic cell. So, in this cell, all the function, all the working is as like a previous one, what we have already studied in the earlier lecture. There should be dropping mercury electrode. There should be the nitrogen gas, removal oxygen there. Then there should be the indicator electrode, reference electrode, right? So everything is there, but it is a H in shape. So it is H in shape because it is more convenient to use, okay, as compared to the previous arrangement what we have seen for the drop mercury electrode. This is very convenient and user friendly. Hence the reason nowadays this is very commonly used. Okay. First see the arrangement over here, then I will go to the actual explanation. Because once you understand the arrangement, the remaining is very easy. Because they are explaining this diagram only. See, this is a dropping a mercury electrode having capillary from where the mercury is coming into the testing solution. These are what the drops. Okay, here is a nitrogen gas inlet. Here is a nitrogen gas outlet. So what happens? Okay, now here is the indicator electrode. This part. Okay, this nitrogen gas comes into the solution that carries oxygen with it and goes out. So whatever oxygen is present with the testing solution that can be removed with the help of nitrogen only. This nitrogen gas is passed through this testing solution for 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Once it is confirmed to us that now all the oxygen has been removed from this testing solution, then we are going to start the next step. Okay, so there is a annular space, okay, for the escape of nitrogen. Now, to this side, the contact electrode or saturated calomel electrode. Okay. So here is a saturated KCl solution, and in this HgCl2, that is calomel is filled up. Okay, this is what the mercury HgCl2. Okay, this is our reference electrode. And these two half cells are separated by an agar plug. Okay, there is a sintered glass disc. Sintered glass disc. J.J. Lingen and H.A. Laxner designed the H-shaped cell. Okay, so GME is inserted in experimental solution in one of the arm of the cell, and reference electrode like a saturated calomel electrode is dipped in another arm. The two arms separated by a cross membrane which is filled with the 4% agar-agar gel or agar saturated KCl gel, which is held by a porous sintered glass disc. Nitrogen can be bubbled through the solution to remove all the oxygen. Okay, as we know that we are going to flush the nitrogen for 50 to 30 minutes for the deoxygenation of testing solution. The potential applied to the cell is varied and the corresponding current are measured for different potential. Okay. The potential of DME can be calculated as the difference between EMF of cell and the potential of the reference electrode, which is not. Yes, type cells are their use is nowadays continuously increasing because of polarography. In the use in the polarography because it is more cumbersome. Okay, so what happens in the previous technique that is more cumbersome and and inconvenient. That's why this is what we are using with the ease and more frequent. Okay, which one? The H-shaped cells are used due to their ease and more convenience compared to the the technique which we have studied in the previous lecture. Okay, over there the whole the system was open, and then that was quite tedious. Okay, and as we know that mercury is very poisonous. This is example. Copper ions are deposited on dropping mercury electrode when the potential applied to H cell or S type cell is इथे apply केलं 0.202 volt. The oxidation potential of saturated calomel electrode is minus 0.242. So as we know that E cell is equal to E calomel plus E DME. Okay, calomel ला oxidation होता है, DME ला reduction होता है. We have E cell, we have E calomel. Okay, so E DME is equal to minus 0.202 volt plus 0.242 volt. The reduction potential, E reduction is a 0.04 volt. What are the advantages of DME? So useful voltage span with the DME is range from, you see, say range is very nice. If we see plus 0.4 volt to minus 0.2 volt versus saturated calomel, and the potential more than or potential more positive than plus 0.4 volt, mercury start dissolving, and at the potential more negative than minus 2 volt, evolution of hydrogen ion mercury cathode may occur. This potential span is sufficient to cover maximum metals analysis. Okay, as the electrode surface is continuously renewing. Okay, so it is found to be free from electrolysis or the product of electrolysis. Okay, that is very nice, good for the analysis, because every time it's free of impurity accumulation. Okay, we are getting newer surface. As the electrode area is reproducible, current often are reproducible for the most of the metal ion form amalgam with the mercury on the as electrode possess very small surface area, current flowing is of the order of few milliampere. This makes several replicate determination for the same solution possible without changing the concentration of electroactive species. Due to continuous linear of electrode surface, the simultaneous determination of many metals is also possible. These are what the advantages of dropping mercury. What are the limitations? Cannot function at more positive potential. Metal can form only the amalgam are determined. In presence of strong oxidizing agent, the electrode does not function properly. Mercury vapors are very poisonous. Hence, the H type is frequently used nowadays. Current does not remain steady but varies from 0 to maximum value. Purification of mercury is very important and essential. And as we know that mercury is very costly. Okay, so 3 electrode system. Now this is usually what we observe. There are only 2 electrodes. Okay, one is anode, one is cathode. Okay, so in this technique, potentiometry, in the potentiometer, this arrangement suffices as there is no current passing through the cell. Okay? In voltammetry, however, an external potential applied to the cell and the current response is measured. It is also necessary to control the external applied potential, and this is generally not possible with the T-electrode system. Control जे आपल्याला potential control करायचं, that is usually not possible with the T-electrode system. Hence, due to the potential drop across the cell, the better potential control is achieved by using a 3-electrode system. In such a case, potential of one electrode, the working in such a case, the potential of one electrode, the working electrode, is controlled. Potential of working electrode is controlled relative to the second reference electrode. Okay, so this potential is controlled with reference to this, right? And the current passing through, and the current passes here. Reference, the current passes between the working electrode and the third electrode, auxiliary or counter electrode. This one, the counter electrode and working electrode. The current passing between these two is measured. Okay, current passing between two is measured. Hence, there is a use of third electrode. And the basic reason is there is a need to control the external applied potential. Hence, there is a three electrode system. So what is the residual current? This already we have seen residual current, supporting electrolyte, and a diffusion current, a limiting current. These things we have already studied, but we'll go through it again, no problem. It is a current flowing through the polarographic cell before the deposition of electroactive species is begin. The portion AB from the polarigram it indicates the residual current. Okay, the magnitude of residual current will depend upon the nature of supporting electrolyte. As we changes the supporting electrolyte, the magnitude of residual current also changes. So as we know that we are using KCl as a supporting electrolyte. So the indifferent electrolyte present in large concentration in the polarographic cell is known as supporting electrolyte. The concentration of supporting electrolyte is thousands times greater than that of electroactive species. The ions of supporting electrolyte carry almost all the current. Not only are they large in number, they possess greater capacity of carrying the current as their transport number closes to 5. Okay, so polarigram and in presence and in absence of electroactive species, how it appears. See here. This is a polarigram in presence of electroactive species or where the reduction of electroactive species occurs, and graph appears like this. Sorry, like this. Okay, but in absence of electroactive species, the polarigram changes. Here is the absence of electroactive species, and this is only the supporting electrolyte which shows the reduction. What happens as we increases the reduction potential at particular point? Definitely, K plus ion is going to reduce, and this is what the reduction potential or the polarigram in which we are getting the graph for current versus voltage applied. Okay, current versus voltage applied in this way, red, which we have drawn, which we have just on the. Okay, it happened. आता कारण इथे याचं रिडक्शन पोटेन्शियल ह्या झोन मध्ये आहे ना इलेक्ट्रोएक्टिव्ह स्पेसिस आणि म्हणून तो इथून रिड्यूस व्हायला सुरुवात झालेली आहे. ओके, लॅटर ऑन बिकम्स लाईक दिस. द डिफ्युजन करंट हे पण एक्सप्लेन केलंय की इलेक्ट्रोएक्टिव्ह स्पेसिसचं डिफ्युजन होतं कशामधून, आयन्स ऑफ that supporting electrolyte. Okay, and hence the name diffusion current is there. So this refers to the rising potential of polarigram when the deposition potential of electroactive species is reached. The electroactive species in the vicinity of mercury drop immediately get reduced. The process of reduction of electroactive species at the dropping mercury electron still all the ions or molecules which are in the vicinity of a drop get reduced. Ultimately, the concentration of electroactive species in the vicinity of drop becomes zero. At this stage, ion have to be transported from bulk of the solution to the electrode surface. This involves a two-step diffusion to the surface and the reduction at the surface. Okay, the first being the slower of the two controls the rate and hence the current becomes diffusion current. In the conclusion, Faraday current that is registered prior to it become a diffusion control is known as a diffusion current. Okay, in polarography, diffusion current is measured quantity, and that is very important for the analysis purpose of electroactive species. Okay, so the magnitude of diffusion current is also known with the help of wave height. Okay, now limiting current. So the portion CD which we have seen in the graph, okay, that is called as a limiting current. Okay, so the limiting current, where is the indicator? Okay, limiting current is equal to diffusion current plus residual current. जे की आपण ग्राफ मध्ये बघितलं होतं, हा रेसिड्युअल करंट होता, डिफ्युजन करंट होता आणि हा लिमिटिंग करंट होता, है ना. आरसी देन डीसी या दोघांची सम झाली की आपल्याला काय मिळतो, काय मिळतो इथे एलसी भेटतो. ओके, सो पोर्शन सीडी, दिस इज द पोर्शन, है ना. हा खालचा एबी होता, बीसी जो आहे तो डिफ्युजन आहे, हा काय आहे लिमिटिंग करंट आहे. ओके, सो दॅट वी हॅव ऑलरेडी स्टडीड. ओके, now we'll see the half wave potential. Next concept is a half wave potential. Okay, it is defined as the potential at which current flowing, through the cell is half than that of the diffusion current. Okay, diffusion current चा हाफ घेतला की ते जे पोटेन्शियल मिळणार आहे, हे जे पोटेन्शियल मिळणार आहे ऑन एक्स ऍक्सिस, that is called as a half wave potential. Okay, see here E1 half. हा जो करंट असणार आहे आपला, that is called ID by that is what the diffusion current. The ID is a diffusion current and this is a ID by 2. Okay, now this is a residual current, as we know that this is a limiting current. Okay, so the E is equal to E1 half when I is equal to ID by 2, where E is the potential applied and E1 half is the half wave potential. I is the current and ID is the diffusion. Half wave potential can be used to identify the electroactive species present in the solution. The half wave potential is independent of concentration of the electroactive species. Half wave potential is independent of concentration of electroactive species. Okay, the half wave potential depends on the supporting electrolyte. The half wave potential depends upon the supporting electrolyte. Okay, so after this we are going to see the equation of polarographic wave. I think this is enough in this lecture. Remaining we'll see in the next lecture, that is equation of polarographic wave. Okay, thank you.